You know, there are moments in American politics that make headlines, and then there are moments that stop the nation in its tracks. This was one of them. What started as a typical political debate quickly spiraled into something ugly, something deeply offensive, something that echoed centuries of pain. Former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, a name not unfamiliar to controversy, looked across the stage and in a moment that would soon ignite social media and mainstream news alike, uttered 5 words that would change the tone of the entire conversation. Go back to Africa. Yes, you heard that right. A phrase drenched in racism, a sentence historically used to silence shame and suppress black voices in America, spoken in 2025 in front of cameras, in front of a nation. And who was on the receiving end of this hateful remark? Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, an attorney, a fierce voice in the House of Representatives. A black woman who had risen through the ranks, not by privilege, but by perseverance. Now pause for a second. Imagine yourself in that moment on a public stage. Millions watching. Someone, a fellow public figure, looks you dead in the eyes and tries to erase your presence with 5 cruel words. Go back to Africa. Most would have lost their composure. Most would have snapped, yelled, raged, fought fire with fire. But not Jasmine. No. Crockett did something else, something that made the insult seem small, something that reminded America of the power of intelligence, dignity, and restraint. She paused, took a breath, and responded in a tone that was firm yet calm, elegant, but powerful. She said, "I was born right here in America, just like you, but even if I wasn't, what gives you the right to tell someone where they belong?" No shouting, no insult in return. Just truth, and that truth hit harder than any insult ever could, because in that moment, Jasmine Crockett did what so many leaders failed to do. She rose above the hate. She turned a racial slur into a national conversation. She turned personal attack into public education, and the country noticed. Social media lit up. Hashtags like "We Stand with Crockett" and "Dignity over Division" began trending. News anchors, celebrities, activists, everyone was talking about it, but they weren't talking about the insult anymore. They were talking about the response. Because Crockett didn't just protect her own dignity, she reminded every person watching that they deserve to be treated with respect, no matter their skin color, their background, or their origin. And let's be honest, this wasn't just about 2 women on a stage. This wasn't just about a political disagreement. This was about the racism that still lingers in the halls of power. This was about how women, especially black women, are treated when they speak boldly, when they stand proudly, when they don't back down. And yet Jasmine didn't just survive the moment. She owned it. She didn't just defend herself. She defended everyone who's ever been told they don't belong. And that's leadership. See, when you look back at history, the most powerful moments aren't always loud. Sometimes they come in a whisper, a pause, a moment of grace that silences hate more than shouting ever could. That's what Jasmine Crockett gave us. A masterclass in how to respond to hate, not with more hate, but with strength. Class in unshakable truth. Let's not forget what Pam Bondi said, because forgetting would be dangerous. But let's remember what Jasmine Crockett did, because that is what should be taught in classroom. That is what young girls and boys should see when they learn what leadership looks like. That is what will echo through history. Not the insult, but the answer. In the face of a racist remark, she didn't crumble. She stood tall. She reminded America who we are supposed to be. And that, my friends, is how you shut down hate without ever raising your voice. So the next time someone tries to tear you down with ignorance, remember Jasmine Crockett and rise.